We're going to do a quick review of stoichiometry, and so this is the first problem of your homework, so if you follow along with me on your page, then you'll get one of them done. So, just before we even get into this problem here, I'm going to read it out loud, but then we're going to kind of just do a quick review of how you even solve these. So if 43.5 grams of water are reacted with excess iron, how many moles of hydrogen gas will be produced? So basically what you're doing here is you're given this reaction, and if you know the quantities, so you know the relative amounts, that's what these numbers are, the coefficients. You know the relative amounts of reactants and products, then you can use that information to convert between maybe a reactant like water and hydrogen product. And so the way you solve this is you underline your given, and so I see 43.5 grams of water is H2O, are reacted with excess iron. So to recall what that means, like if you were making a sandwich and you had peanut butter and jelly and you had only a little bit of peanut butter but you had a whole jar of jelly, well, you're never going to run out of the jelly. That's excess. So you don't really need to consider it. It's excess. So we're just going to cross out excess iron. I don't even want to worry about it. How many moles of hydrogen gas will be produced? So you have your given, what we're the number we're starting from, and the unknown, what we're going to be trying to calculate. This set of boxes up here is actually, this is kind of what we rely on. Grams of given can go to moles of given, can go to moles of unknown, can go to grams of unknown. These two boxes right here, this is the only conversion between a given and an unknown you can make. So when you think about water and hydrogen, the only time I can have a conversion between H2O to H2 is when I'm doing a mole to mole ratio. Other than that, moles to grams, we know how to do those types of conversions because we've been practicing them for a long time. So let's decide where this falls. I've got grams of water, so it's definitely grams, and it's my given, it's the number I'm starting with. So that's where I'm starting. I've got 43.5 grams of H2O. Oops, H2O. And I want to find how many moles of hydrogen gas. So would it be moles of given? So let's put that right here. Moles of H2. Well, if you see, this is the given and this is the given. I've got H2O here. That's my given. This cannot be my given because H2 is a different substance. This is not moles of given. So actually I'm going to go erase this because that is not right. When I'm changing substances, so that's kind of my unknown now. That's what I'm trying to find. So, oops, I gotta get my pen here. This is moles of H2. So this is what we're trying to find. And so now if you want to know how many conversion factors do you need, well, you're going to do one conversion going from grams of given to moles of given. So this arrow stands for one conversion. And then the next conversion will be from moles of given to moles of unknown. So you're going to have two conversions here. So I'm going to switch colors here to something new. There we go, we'll use green. And I'm going to scroll down just a little bit and get us started here. I'm going to leave this in the frame so that we can use it for a second. But let's start this up. So I've got 43.5 grams of H2O, and then I know that I'm going to have two conversions, so times 1 times 2 equals, and then I always want to put down what I'm trying to find, moles of H2. Okay, so these arrows actually show you what this conversion factor will be. So this arrow right here is this conversion. On the bottom it's going to be grams of given, which is also this. So these units here come to the bottom, grams of given, grams of H2O. And then I can't go straight to moles of unknown. I first have to go to moles of given here. So I'm going from grams of H2O to moles of H2O. The next conversion over, so this line right here, is going to be these two boxes. I'm going to be converting between them. So moles of H2O, which is my moles of given, goes on the bottom. And on top is going to be moles of unknown. And my unknown is H2. It's over here. This is my unknown. The last thing before you start any calculations is you have to fill in these numbers. And so I'm actually done with this. I'm going to scroll us up because I don't really need that anymore. Okay, so now that we've got this setup here, if you have a gram to mole ratio, really what you're doing right now is you're finding how many grams of H2O, so H's and O's, are there in 1 mole of H2O. It will always be, in a gram to mole ratio, 1 mole. In order to find grams, do you remember what that's called? Grams of H2O is going to be called the molar mass. So H, we've got 2 of them, and each one has a mass of 1.01. Oxygen is 16.00. If you do that math, it should be 18.02 grams. So I will plug that in right here, 18.02. And then a mole to mole ratio, this is different, so this is not the same numbers here. So going back to what I originally said, if I ever want to convert between H2O and H2, two different substances, it has to be a mole to mole ratio. And that comes from right here. So H2O, for every 4 H2Os, there are 4 H2s. And from there, I'm just going to put this into the calculator. So it will be 43.5 times 1 over 18.02 times 4 over 4. And your answer will be 2.4139 moles. And then we want to remember our significant figures. There are 1, 2, 3 significant figures in the question. So this is going to be 2.4, so 2.41. Those are my 3 numbers. So I'm going to drop this 3. Before I drop 3, I consider, is it 5 or larger? And it's not, so I'm just going to drop it. 2.41 moles of H2 is my answer. And so your next 2 problems on your homework are not the exact same steps. It's not grams of given to moles of unknown. So when you are getting ready to start this, you have to draw these boxes out and consider where's your starting point and where's your ending point.